Shalom Yasharallah, this your brother Dawudah, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and ever will. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth as sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here quick lesson real fast, dealing with, how the earth needs new management, all right? Because the people that are running the earth right now, all right, have the earth, in, how do I say, it's upside down and inside out. Everything is in straight chaos, man. All right, and even the earth itself is crying out, and you have all these people that have this craze about eating whole foods, non-GMO foods, and so on and so forth, or more organic foods and things like that, where there should be no such thing as organic food, man. All right, because all food should be just natural. All right, because in the beginning, the Most High made everything. Let's grab that real quick. Come on now. This is Genesis chapter 1 and verse 11. And the power said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself, and after this kind. And the power saw that it was good. All right, so look, going into these things, all right, the Most High had everything set up perfect, man. All right, we didn't, and there was laws on how you were supposed to till the ground and everything else like that. You're supposed to let the ground rest. You plant and grow on it for 6 years, and the seventh you're supposed to let it rest. But see, with this ruler that we have over the earth right now, all right, he can't wait. He just constantly keep going, to where there's no more nutrients that's inside the earth, where they're, growing, fruits and vegetables and things like that. So what winds up happening is they have to start pumping these vitamins and nutrients inside of this to supplement for the fact that they, took it out of its natural, the natural order of things out of the way. All right. So, with Esau controlling the things and breaking the law, statutes, commandments, let me grab a precept real quick. It says it a lot better. Isaiah 24 and 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. All right. So the vitamins and the nutrients and things like that that's supposed to be naturally inside the soil, all right, that naturally will replenish itself. All right. It's being taken out because Esau is just going through the earth and just constantly sowing and reaping, man. All right. Not even giving the land its rest to replenish its nutrients, man. All right. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant, man. All right, this was supposed to be everlasting, man. All right, so we would have, this was like a perpetual cycle. They tell you that there's nothing really perpetual in the earth or perpetual motion and things like that in the earth. There's nothing seriously like that. But in reality, the earth is perpetually spinning. All right, and the way that things was set up, like we just read, every fruit has its seed on the inside. It's going to grow. Let's say an apple grows on the apple tree, right? And throughout time, that apple is going to grow to its full potential. It's going to fall down on the ground. All right, it's going to decay. That seed is going to go back into the earth, be watered because the rain is in its own cycle. All right, and then it's going to sprout up more apple trees. Or even if an animal goes and eats it, you know what I'm saying? By the time it digests everything, goes through its system, the seed comes back out, man. All right, but what do you have Esau doing right now? Creating seedless apples, seedless oranges, seedless watermelons, seedless lemons. None of these things are real, man. All right, these are all lab created. Why do you have to sit there and create these things? And they'll tell you, oh, well, there's a shortage of food on the earth, or we're overpopulated, man. All right, and they'll say, well, you have the argument of well, we have, wherever I live at, I always see a bunch of cow pastures and empty ass fields and so on and so forth. In fact, where I work at, the little area where I used to work at used to be just nothingness. It's just nothing but cow pastures and just woods and shit like that. Now they're carving all this here out and creating subdivisions all over the place, man. All right, so it's not like we're running out of room for people to live, but they'll say, oh, well, we're running out of food. Well, first of all, you know how much food that we throw away here in America? All right, and also on top of that, the earth, how do I say, is sustainable to sustain all the life that's on the planet Earth, man. All right, but when you have Esau that's in control of all these different things, like these big major companies, which which companies I'm talking about, all right, start with an M, all right? But nevertheless, when they're in control of that and all the seeds, they can sit here and use a monopoly, charge you what they want for it, and, charge you like they're doing right now with the Whole Foods, man. They'll give you the junk, all right, and charge you extra for things that's supposed to be a little bit better. And then they do tests and things on it, find out that it's not even so-called organic. Some guy just got caught selling some organic seeds. Come to find out they wasn't even organic. But see, the craze of people wanting to buy these things, all right, why do people even want to buy these things, all right? Let me read this again, Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish, all right? The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they, let me slow down. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Not all the people that's living on the earth, but the earth is being controlled by one group of people. All right, it says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenants. All right, so amen. This is well, let me read verse 6. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, talking about those ICBM missiles, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. This is why the Most High has to destroy everything, man. All right, because if he was to leave, you know, some of this soil around, some of these seeds around, we'd still be having GMO food, GMO seeds, and things like that. All right, but reading in on how the earth is, you know, the earth languish because of the people, you know, because of the inhabitants thereof, right? This is Job 9:24. Let's find out who is in control of this. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? So the earth was given into the hand of who? The wicked. Let me grab another quick precept. This is Genesis 27 and verse 39. It says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, now this is being spoken to Esau, behold, thy dwelling shall, let me go up, 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So Esau was blessed with the dominion over the earth. All right, and we just read in Job 9:24 how the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. How do you think the wicked was going to rule and run the earth, man? All right, in wickedness, man. All right, this is why the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they changed the ordinance and the laws. They didn't want to listen to the Most High, man. All right, and now this is the position that we're left in. All right, dealing up under these damn Edomites. This is Leviticus 19:19. It says, ye shall keep my statutes. All right, but what did Esau do? He broke in the everlasting covenants, man, and transgressed the laws, right? When he was in rulership. It says, ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall thy garments mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. All right, so, you know, starting from the bottom up, we're not supposed to be mixing up fabrics and things like that. All right, but it says, thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. So you ain't supposed to be trying to, how they have these different animals and they'll sit there and mix the cells of certain animals to create a new animal, or how they say, because you actually got GMO animals as well too, man. All right, now there ain't necessarily nothing wrong with farm raising, like you know, you can farm raise animals, but they also like farm raise fish and things like that, chicken, you know, for these you know, major chicken producers. And obviously that's how you would normally get the stuff, you know, you would breed them and stuff like that. But the way they doing it, like for instance, you see like these little, you go get the little hot wings and stuff like that, and you'll notice sometimes, man, they'll have these big ass, like the little chicken wings, right? They'll be super fat and super big. Sometimes like a drumstick will have a broken bone in there. The reason is because they're just pumping steroids in these damn chickens, man. All right, you ain't supposed to have GMO chickens like that, man, where they go from the egg to a full-grown chicken on your plate ready to eat in 27, 28 days, man. All right, the chicken gets so big and so plump, but the bones ain't been, you know, around long enough to develop, so they're easily to be broken, man. All right, they take these damn fish, like salmon and stuff like that, and they farm raise them. Again, it ain't necessarily nothing wrong with them farm raising fish. Like, let's say, for instance, you got a certain area of the river where you're going to have naturally these certain types of fish shit. Now, you put up certain nets around just to maintain them in one area and just let the natural course take place. All right, cool. But when you take some of these fish, like they have salmon, I believe, are naturally pink because of they eat, I believe they eat shrimp or something like that. Well, whatever they eat, turn them naturally pink. But then you'll have farm-raised salmon that are like a grayish color. I was watching a little documentary on this of how they feed them these little pebbles and things like that. And because of their diet, they turn that color, man. All right. So again, You're not supposed to be like, bro, they didn't introduce a whole different type of makeup of these animals, man. All right, because they would be a natural how do I say, a natural way of being in, a natural cycle of what they would eat and everything like that, their diet and everything like that. So, therefore, it'd be a so-called clean animal to eat. But when you interject them where they just eating poison, all right, what kind of meat, like, what do you think they're gonna be eating, man? All right, you wouldn't want to eat a like, let's say you wouldn't want to eat a cow. Normally cows eat like grass and sometimes tomatoes and stuff like that. But you want to eat a cow that's his whole life you've been eating like man, I seen a damn horse. He was being starved out. He was starting to eat shingles and shit like that. Some just trash that was around. But you wouldn't want to eat no damn cow that was sitting there eating dead animals all damn day long and everything like that, because all of that is going inside the damn cow, man. All right. You wouldn't want to eat a fish that was in poisonous or water with nuclear waste in there, like with radiation and things like that, man. Because why? That fish will be irradiated, man. Then you'll be consuming that mess. All right. But it says, thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. All right. And this is one of the things that they do. I can attest for this personally, where I used to work at this one place. And like basically, it wasn't necessarily construction, but it was more or less like repair. But I worked at this, where I was doing the repair work, it was at this tomato packing house, right? Now, one thing I found out about that was, I wasn't really into when they was harvesting and stuff, but where I was at, where my little working area was at, was right there at this big storage area where they would store the tomatoes. And I realized that they, not just the tomatoes, all the fruits and the vegetables, there's a lot of these farms around us where they do the same thing, like strawberries, tomatoes, the oranges, obviously. You've got the orange juice factory here, all right? And even them, all right, they harvest the oranges once a year. They harvest the tomatoes once a year, man. All right. And then they'll put them in a storage unit, and then they'll wind up gassing them with this certain type of gas, all right, to preserve the shit. And then, when you getting oranges or apples or tomatoes and things like that, man, they've been pulled off the tree like a year ago, man. All right. So like I was saying about the tomatoes, what they would do is they would pick the tomatoes once a year. All right, bring them in, and like I said, in the little area where I used to work, so I would see them coming back and forth with the damn forklifts going inside the storage unit, right? Now, you couldn't go inside this damn storage unit with the door closed, and you couldn't be in there longer than 15 minutes because they was gassing these shits. Now, they'd bring the tomatoes in. The tomatoes would be like a greenish color, which is, that's the stages they start out with. But once they brought them in, they would gas the tomatoes with this gas, all right, to preserve it. The tomatoes would then turn like this bluish color, right? Now, they would tell us we could take the tomatoes home. Just take the tomatoes and, put them on, you get a bag of tomatoes, put them on your like kitchen table or in a window or something like that, and let them sit for a couple weeks until they turn green. Once they start turning green, then you can just let them just keep sitting and they'll actually start turning orange. But again, why the hell are these things turning blue, man? All right. And again, you introducing this here gas to this tomato, you wouldn't want to eat those tomatoes right off, straight up out of the container like that, man. All right, and these tomatoes get shipped out to the stores and everything. When they get shipped out to the stores, they be blue, man. And they sit them, by the time they travel on the trucks, sit in the back for a while, they start turning green. This is why when you go to the store, sometimes you see some of the tomatoes just now turning orange now. All right. But also I found out about those same tomatoes. They took the DNA from certain fish. All right, because a fish will hold water and is a fish, right? And they would mingle that with the tomato seed, so the tomatoes will hold water a lot longer, so they would stay juicier and fresh a lot longer, man. All right. And like I said, man, they would pick these tomatoes. Let's say today is the day that they harvest them, right? Now these tomatoes are going to be on the shelf and they're going to be out picked all the way up, let's say 2 months ahead of time from today, right? You're going to harvest again 2 months later, but 2 months ahead of this time now, all right, you would have the same tomatoes that was picked the whole year ago, man. All right. And when you look at them, they just as juicy, just as thick and everything, like as if they just picked them the day of, man. Just like McDonald's food, man. Those French fries and everything like that, man. You drop a French fry on the seat, find it 2-3 years later, they look like you just dropped it the day of, man. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in a one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. All right. So, hey, going into this is like how they have, how do I say? Well, let me keep reading. Verse 10, and the meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time thou shalt eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin. From time to time thou shalt drink. And they charging for water and everything nowadays. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. So back in those days, they be like, bro, they was tripping. They're like, yo, cuz, how you gonna basically be eating some food mixed with shit, man? Who want to eat some, like, they have a saying about, just to, talk about a little leaven the whole lump. You try to feed that to somebody, in layman's terms, like, look, man, they's like, oh, just a little bit won't hurt. I'm like, all right, let me bake you some chocolate chip cookies. 95% of this is going to be the chocolate chip cookie ingredients, and 5% of it is going to actually be regular human shit. Would you eat those cookies? Let's say 99%. Just 1% of it is human shit. Would you eat those cookies? People are like, hell no, I wouldn't eat that. It's got human shit in there, man. All right, just a little bit of it. And going into today, man, you look at certain things like an apple, all right, and it's got like 60-something ingredients. Man, I was listening to something the other day about that McRib, right? And they was talking about how not just the McRib, between the McRib, the sauce, and the damn bun itself, there's like somewhat between 80-something ingredients in that. Like, bro, you supposed to only have the bun is like wheat, the bread, all right? And then supposedly the McRib is supposed to just be straight up meat, man. It ain't supposed to be no other ingredient with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you eating some steak or something, it's like it's supposed to be beef, and the only other ingredient may be like some fat and then seasoning that you season it with. All right, it ain't supposed to have no extra shit in there, man. All right. But hey, this is what they have going on right now, where they mix up all these different things into one pile today to make you the food that you have, man. You'd be surprised when you eating or drinking some orange juice. All right, orange juice is supposed to just be, take an orange, squeeze that bad boy, you got orange juice. But they got like 80-something different ingredients into that, man. All right, applesauce, 80-something different ingredients in that, man. All right, sliced apples. Like, how the hell, when you take a regular apple and you slice it, now you got multiple ingredients. But this is because Esau's creating all these GMO foods because of, first of all, the lack thereof of the vitamins and the nutrients, and second of all, for it to be preserved, man. You don't have to preserve the food, man. All right, and then they again, you ain't supposed to be eating shit year round, like apples year round, man. All right, if they was to do it the way we was supposed to do it, you'd have different fruits and vegetables at different points of time of the year, man. Every different season, you'd have some new shit to be eating from. All right, but hey, they done mixed everything all up today in today's times to where it's just basically like you eating a bunch of horse shit, man. All right, there's another precept I was thinking of. Oh, this is Jeremiah. Matter of fact, let me just read this. We'll close it. This wasn't what I was looking for, but we'll read this and close out. Hey, it says, Jeremiah 51:25, it's just the spirit. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And how do you destroy the whole earth, man? All right, which your the way that you rule things by transgressing the laws and changing the ordinance and breaking the everlasting covenants, man. All right, introducing your GMO foods, GMO insects, GMO bugs, moving around animals that's, in different areas and places like that. Like here in Florida, we got they call it boa constrictor problem out here, man. Because why? They didn't, first of all, they brought some of these snakes that wasn't even native to America, all right, and started bringing them up as pets, and people start letting them go. Now they living out in the Everglades, and there ain't nothing that's going to attack them and kill them off. So they're going to just keep multiplying and eating all the other animals out there, man. All right. Breaking that cycle of just a regular circle of life, man. All right. They also bring over these so-called lionfish, all right, to America and stuff like that. Then they eat up all the coral reefs and everything like that, man, destroying the natural ecosystem that the Most High had set up, man. All right, but this is who we have ruling the earth, man. This is how he destroyed the earth, just dealing with the food itself, man. All right, the food and the animals, man. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord, when this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.